as you think about where this is all going, and I do love that you kind of brought up the future of work here. What do you sort of see the average job looking like in the future? Is it going to be some sort of hybrid model because companies can't like sustain a single employee, or is it going to be, kind of life as usual with this sort of fringe world of overemployment? What are you sort of envisioning the future to look like?
Yeah, I really think that the future is going to fully, it's going to be more contract-based work. I'm already seeing it. I think in this new year and all the job posting that I started to see, oh, wow, okay, they want contractors. I'm cool with that. So you get more of that shift from, full-time employed, under the law of like employment law to B2B, right? Basically contracting. And so, yeah, I think that's where it's going. I would suspect then everyone's going, I mean, I'm only looking for jobs that's fully remote. You and I know that as employees, no one wants to be in the office unless you happen to be the person that likes working in the office and need to have meetings. If meetings is your job, then you want to be in the office and being a real person. If the meeting is not your whole sole part of your job, you don't want any part of the office whatsoever. And you want to be at your home so you can focus and write code, write words, help your clients, right, in their career choices and conversation. You want to be in the comfort of your own office. So I think that's where the future work is going to, and maybe even more technology will enable more collaboration through the metaverse and in virtual workspaces, right, in our avatars or in our real person, I don't know, deep fake, whatever we want. I mean, it really is the self-fulfilling prophecy to humanity. That's an interesting part of I think I want to touch on. How we end up where we're at is we let ourselves end up where we're at. There's nothing that says we have to work 40 hours a week. That was an arbitrary decision by Henry Ford to halve his workers' time so that they have some time to go buy their own cars and enjoy it, right? And before then, the Industrial Revolution was child labor. Those people working to death. They literally just work all the time because that's business logic. Oh, your body. I mean, you used to farm all the time, right? You can work in the manufacturing plant all the time then. So it's a self-fulfilling thing of what humanity wants to make, our life to be. We're so productive. There's so many things. They're so wealthy that I think we don't really have to work that much to enjoy our life as is, to be honest. And now, from a tech worker's perspective, and that was all tech related. I think what you're touching on earlier is there's the legal piece and then there's the moral piece, right? That example that you made, was it legally wrong? Like illegal? Yes, it was. Because he didn't upfront getting that agreement. Like, hey, can I outsource it? Or I'm allowed to outsource, whatever it is, right? In your legal contract. And some of them say you cannot outsource anything. You must be the prime contractor, only contractor working on this. Most of the time, employers just want to monopolize your time. That's your job. They will push a contract on you to monopolize your time. Now, the old employee approach is, because a lot of people are still in the I'm the signal taker, if you will. I in this mindset, right? I cannot change that contract. I must accept it. It's a click through. Okay, fine. I will click through it, but I don't think this is enforceable. And the risk is super low in a virtual remote world, where how are you gonna determine what is the duty hours or office hours? And honestly, tech companies run 365, 24, 7 days a week right now. It's global. So you really want to work the whole time you can. Just back to that whole manufacturing comparison, right? It's a global company. You have people in India, you have people in Asia, Europe, operating all the time, right? Who's setting what hours, right? It's just all depends on the norms of your manager and your group that you're working in. I mean, I'm just reading the contract, right? This is the legal piece, of course, right? You want to do things legally. That's one thing that old employee does not advocate on doing anything illegal. So working two jobs, to be clear, is as legal as it gets. This is the fundamental rights of a free market. Now, what companies do is they have an army of lawyers is construct contract that sometimes is out of bounds, even legally in local jurisdiction. They'll push it everywhere. They don't know, and even startups and some of the contracts. And so they might be pushing something that is even illegal on you that you don't even know as you're reading it, that doesn't apply to you. So again, consult lawyer, that's the legal part. I'm not an expert, but at least from all the lawyers I've talked to, that's it. And you, of course, talk to the lawyers to push back some red line some contracts, send it back. Just like business, right? Business to business, when they negotiate. Right, lawyers get in the room, it's adversarial, and it's back and forth, red line and this and cross this out and that, right? No different. It's just people down the other side as an employee haven't quite figured that out, that they can push back on it if you have the power. That's the moral piece. And I think you touch on it. Like morally, it just didn't feel right? Like if companies can do it, if business can do it, why can't individual employees then should just really, I call it family Inc. It's just a family corporation. It's a small little shop, mom and pop shop. You should get the same rights.